Okay, I'm going to explain the activity that you just saw in my classroom. As you know, I'm teaching fourth grade this year, and I have students from different backgrounds, and I also have different type of learners. The activity that I use is called Book Boxes, and it's based on this amazing book. That's where I got it from. This activity, Book Boxes, is also connected to different standards. The first standard is speaking and listening, and it states that students engage effectively in a range of collaborative discussions, one-on-one, in groups, and teacher-led, with diverse partners, in grade 4 topics and texts, building on other ideas and expressing their own ideas clearly. The second standard is a language standard, and the standard states that students use knowledge of language and its conventions when writing, speaking, reading, or listening. So Book Boxes, what it is an activity where students are provided objects that serve as clues to a text content, and students use those clues to make predictions about the reading selection. I made one modification, and that modification is that I gave my students a worksheet where they have to write down their predictions. I use this activity because it helped my students promote literacy development. First, by promoting language development and vocabulary development. Those two are promoted by allowing students to orally share their ideas, and also by having students write down their predictions. So they are engaging in the activity, they are using language, oral language, and writing language, and that helps them to develop more their literacy. This activity also promotes discussion about literature, and discussion is very important because it promotes active engagement and meaning making. Students actually learn more when they are talking about what they are learning, so they are engaged in their own learning process. This activity also develops background knowledge, and as we know, background knowledge is fundamental for literacy development. The knowledge that a reader has impacts their reading selection. So the more you know, the better they comprehend, and the better they understand their reading selection. Background knowledge is being built by having students make predictions about objects, by students listening to other ideas and to other predictions, by talking about it. They are building on what they already know. And so they are learning more, they are engaged in the activity, and the literacy is being more developed. This activity also promotes higher order thinking by allowing students to make predictions, and so their cognitive skills are also being developed. Higher order thinking is fundamental for literacy development because it promotes more meaning making, more background knowledge. Students are actually thinking critically about the object, how the object is going to be part of the book, so they are making connections, and that's when learning occurs. This activity also is appropriate for all type of learners. Low achievers, higher achievers, everyone has a chance to participate, to make different kind of predictions, to talk with their groups, to write down their notes, and then to share it out loud, so everyone has a chance to participate. English learners are actively engaged in the activity because the activity gives them non-verbal clues, so their understanding is more facilitated in the activity. They can understand the information by seeing the object. So it's a tangible object that they can use, they can relate to, they can learn from each other, they can listen into other ideas. So learning is occurring, they are using knowledge orally in written language, so that everything is being engaged, and that's when learning occurs. This activity also motivates a student to learn, and if students are not motivated to learn, that's when learning occurs, when they are motivated, when they are engaged in the activity, when they can comprehend better. So my students are now excited about the book. They keep asking questions. When are we going to read the book? They are engaged, and that's what allows them to comprehend more, to be more engaged, to be part of their own learning process. That's when they learn, and that's when their knowledge expands. Lastly, this activity also allows me to assess my students' knowledge. So by listening to my students, to the predictions that they made, by reading their notes, by listening to their ideas, I knew if my students were ready or not. I knew if I needed to implement more experiences for them to be able to be ready for the book. So everything, as I say, there are many reasons this activity promotes higher order thinking, comprehension, develops background knowledge, develops the language development, vocabulary development, activates comprehension, motivates students to read, and allow me to assess their knowledge. So Book Access is a great activity to help students develop literacy development, and it's an activity that I'm very passionate about it. And let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.